Welcome back to the International 10, the final series of the group stage, unless we get tiebreakers, which is very likely, Kyle.
We will almost certainly have tiebreakers, Cap.
Yeah? How's that going to break down for us?
You want to talk about this group or you want to talk about the other group?
Let's talk about the other group first, and then we can
All right.
use talking about this group to wander into the game.
Sounds good. EG is currently playing Undying. If EG win, there will 100% be a three-way tie for 2 spots between T1, OG, and EG, which is pretty damn hype. You know, second place last major, third place last major, first place last 2 TIs, all playing for 2 upper bracket spots. And I remind you, no TI winner has ever started in the lower bracket, so obviously there's a lot on the line. In this matchup, Secret just got bodied by Fnatic in, funny enough, meaningless matches. Fnatic couldn't change their destiny at all, but they just 2-0 Secret, which is kind of wild when you consider that they're really just playing better because there's no pressure. This team crumbled a little bit, talking to their coach, whatever. That's a whole other side storyline. Team Secret 8-6, Team Spirit 8-6, but Elephant is playing Quincy Crew, heavily favored, so they will likely get to 8-8. That is one man's opinion, however.
Okay.
Secret against Vici. That's what we're about to head into. The draft has just begun. If Secret win 1 game, they guarantee themselves at least a tiebreaker with Beast Coast, assuming Beast Coast were to 2-0 PSG-LGD. Let's be real, folks. That ain't happening. It's not happening. I'm sorry. It won't happen.
This is TI. Anything can happen.
No. PSG-LGD.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay, you know what? It could happen. You're right.
Yeah.
I never thought that I can't come up with anything.
I mean, PSG-LGD already locked in. They're, in fact, already locked in for first place as well.
True.
So there's literally nothing for them to play for. Vici Gaming, somewhat similar story here. I think their ranking could probably change. If Secret beats them here 2-0, then Secret would probably take second in that regard, which that just changes around some seeding bits a little bit.
Yep. And oh wow, it's gonna be set up pretty cool. Where, assuming that Vici, if Vici take a game, you'll have a scenario where the upper bracket will have 3 matches featuring a Chinese team against a Western team.
10 seconds.
Ooh,
There will be no,
that's a spicy little
5
bit.
Yeah, there's no
seconds remaining.
inter-regional matchups for China upcoming, which would be pretty cool, I think. And I'm also really curious, like, the way it works, if I'm not mistaken, TI, the first place team in group chooses their matchup from the other group, and they can take either 3rd or 4th place.
Yes.
And if you're PSG-LGD, hypothetically, let's say it was OG or EG, right? You probably pick EG, right?
Yeah, yeah. At this point, like TI, it's a special time for OG. You're gonna go EG.
Yeah, and that also would mean OG would go to the other side of the bracket.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd only meet them in the upper bracket final, theoretically.
Yeah.
But
So you can just hope somebody else dispatches those
Yeah.
boys.
Yeah, but so the matches we have remaining, we are the first stream for the first time. Let's go, Cap, where typically our line is like 2 hours behind. Today, Owen and Fogg were speed running, it appears. But Secret, like I said, 8-6. They're playing Vici. Spirit also 8-6, but they're playing SG. However, SG also need to 2-0 if they want to have any hope at staying in TI.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll see how they rise to the occasion. Beast Coast, like we said, LGD. Elephant playing Quincy Crew. So your tiebreaker scenarios are really based around Secret losing. So if Elephant 2-0s, if Secret gets 2-0'd, let's say Beast Coast wins a game, then you have 3 spots, or 3 teams, 1 spot
remaining.
in upper.
Yeah. Yeah. Group E is definitely real
5
messy
seconds
right now.
remaining.
That's what it
Yes.
comes down to. We have our draft underway. Vici Gaming going to go for the first pick, IO. Team Secret not going to give them IO. Tiny, of course, will take Tiny into their own hands. And not going to go Lycan. They're going to leave it a little bit more open. They're going to pick what has been probably the most successful 4-5. Definitely pick the most. I'm not sure if actually most successful, but Sapphire has been one of the most popular heroes of this entire tournament. Same goes for Tidehunter.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, like, what is it about? You think it's more the ultimate, or is it just the minus armor? Because the thing about Snapfire is people were picking it, mostly, if you remember, Liquid, they were
10
always running the
seconds
Snapfire
remaining.
Slardar lane, but then the little Shredder got nerfed, And I'm,
5
the
seconds
hero wasn't
remaining.
changed
Turn
too
to
much,
ban.
with the exception of slight buffs to the ultimate. The damage at level 1 went from 50 to 60. That's notable. But it was the same at level 3. But that was all. Like, that was the big change. Is
Yeah.
this 10 damage per glob?
Well, 10 damage.
10 burn
10
damage, that is.
Burn
remaining.
damage, yeah, and that is different, right?
Okay.
Because that's damage per second, so
That's true.
that
5
means
seconds.
that's 10 damage is
Turn
more
to
like
ban.
20, 30.
No, it's actually, it's a 5.5 second burn. So,
Yeah, but at the same time, you like if you're hit by multiple kisses, you're not like stacking up burn, so that is the like
True.
the one weird thing about that.
10 seconds
I guess
remaining.
it's just a lot of damage, right?
Yeah.
I remember I was talking, I
5
can't remember who it was,
seconds
said like
remaining.
when you change, like when you remove a base strength
Team
from a
secrets
hero,
turn to
its
ban.
win rate goes down like 2%. So it's the kind of same concept here, where that little bit of extra damage gets you that kill, that 3%
That's really
extra.
that's really interesting knowledge.
Yeah.
That would have to be someone very intimate with the game.
Yes.
10 seconds remaining.
Vici Gaming, IO Tidehunter.
5 seconds.
They have been
remaining.
looking better than I expected. They're still not one of my
Vici
top 3
Gaming's
favorites.
turn to ban.
But they have been rock solid here, and I will point to Old 11 as I frequently do for this squad. I think that this team success or failure is predicated on his performance because he can have rather extreme performances. And I think he's just been good.
10
I think he's just been
seconds
good for
remaining.
at least all the games that we've watched.
Yeah.
We only watched one of their
5
losses, which
seconds
was up
remaining.
against Fnatic.
Mhm.
Do you remember how that game went by chance?
No. Was it
Okay.
day 1?
Yeah, it was a day 1.
Mm.
It was a day 1 series.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's-
guys. It's been a lot of
The
Dota,
drafts
so
all
it's
kind of
hard
blur
to.
together for me at a point. Let me find it. That was our.
That was the game where they
Oh.
countered the Lycan really hard because they had Night Stalker with the Shard. So there was
Yeah.
no Helm of the Overlord. And Fnatic should have creamed it. They should have just been like, okay, this is going to be like a 30-minute victory. But then it got a little messy. They still managed to hold it down in the end, but it was,
That
again,
game was
messy.
a clown fiesta. That was a lot of fun.
Team
It's
secrets
always funny
turn
to look
ban.
back on matches because you watch the first day of TI and you don't know who's good. You don't know what's good.
Yep.
So then you look back on it and you realize, like the breadcrumbs of, oh, damn, this team was actually really good were laid out all along.
A good story about that was me and
10
Blitz were.
seconds remaining.
We did not cast OG at TI8
5 seconds
until the
remaining.
second. I think it was the end of the second day. And I
Team
think we casted
secrets
like 2
turn to
series of
pick.
them in a row or something like that. And we had been getting the word from everybody else that OG was garbage. That was the word that
Really?
was going around. Because day 1 of TI8 group stage did not go that well for OG, apparently. They were just saying this team isn't any good. And then we watched OG, and they actually did, I think they maybe like tied a series and then won a different one or something like that. And Blitz and I were looking at each other going like, this team isn't garbage at all. Like they're actually pretty damn good. So
10 seconds.
yeah, it's
remaining.
both looking back, but it was also like a team's performance can change
5
wildly, right?
seconds remaining.
Well, they like kind of clicked at a certain point.
Yeah,
That's when I
exactly.
think for OG specifically, and what a lot of teams adjust to is like who kind of understands openings the best.
Mm-hmm.
So if you come into TI and you can play, let's say Elder Titan as a great example here at this event
Yeah.
on 4 different players, you have a huge advantage. If you can play Tiny, mid, and
10
safe lane,
seconds
you have an
remaining.
advantage. And you've seen Spirit really get a jump start from that.
5 seconds.
If you have the
remaining.
wrong heroes that are flexible for yourself, that are just not meta, well, condolences.
right.
Well, go start spamming this.
Yeah, try and
You're just
figure
gonna
it
play.
out
Yeah.
in the next
Team
24
secrets
hours.
turn to pick.
Ooh, Hoodwink is going to be
Whoa.
picked up for Vici Gaming. I almost said Sniper just because I heard that the audio cue. So if you talk about openings and stuff, like just looking at like the first 2 and maybe even the third, like whose opener do you prefer more between Vici Gaming and Team Secret?
10 seconds remaining.
Hard to say. I mean, you have AA against Wisp. We
5
saw
seconds
this in
remaining.
the Quincy Crew SG match as well. Like, it's just considered like a 1-to-1 counter. You remove sustain from the equation. The
part of the reason we liked it so much, though, was because it was IO gyrocopter.
Yes.
Is there different combinations with
Yes.
IO that Ancient Apparition isn't as bad?
Storm. Like,
Okay.
that's the one that I'm actually kind of shocked that Secret let through. They ban out Luna, Ember, Void Spirit. I feel like Storm was the scariest spirit,
Mm.
but perhaps they fear it less because of the tiny. And I think Luna, after we saw OG just kind of give Sumail like a billion attack speed, that combo is now more feared. Luna's received some nerfs, but end of the day, you just clear buildings like a maniac, and you can hit a timing that's fast enough that AA, sure, it's a great hero, but if you're like level 7, level 8, and there's a Luna hitting high ground with max glaives and a BKB Aegis, you're kind of just SOL. But I'll be curious to see if the Hoodwink will be played middle or not. I've only seen Thompson do that so far this tournament. That's a hero that I've always loved with AA. This was one of my favorite openers way back in the day. You just open Puck AA. Puck, of course, is still flexible, but it's most likely middle. And one of the best heroes in Dota against Storm Spirit for obvious reasons. The leash effect, obviously, just shutting him
10
down completely
seconds
for the
remaining.
It
duration.
just makes Ancient Apparition's life so much easier.
Yeah,
Right?
It's natural synergy
5
because of the
seconds
spell
remaining.
amplification.
Yep.
So, Puck is effectively just, completely experience-based damage, but you do have some nice talents for the spell amp too. So now you really increase the value of like a Dagon build, and suddenly you just, boop, pop goes the Hoodwink.
Yeah.
Team Secret
So
turn
what's
to
left
battle.
for the IO pairing at this point? I know, like you said, okay, Storm Spirit's good, but you still need a laning partner. And we've already talked about Gyrocopter is preemptively countered by Ancient Apparition, so it may be that Secret just leave that out there. Vici Gaming also banned Ursa themselves, which is another hero that we've
10
been seeing
seconds
picked up a lot
remaining.
with it. What else?
5 seconds remaining.
Vici Gaming's turn
Okay,
to
hear me
battle.
out. This could be a sick game to swap the tiny mid, Puck off lane, Drow Ranger for Secret.
Why?
Because it crushes Wisp and Storm. The silence is insane. You have pretty
10
limited
seconds
damage,
remaining.
and Tidehunter doesn't really lane very well against double range.
5 seconds
Okay, I get that,
remaining.
but with it, Storm Spirit gets on top of Drow.
Yes, but you ball up. Like, you just hit a power spike that I
Okay.
don't think Storm can really deal with quite well. But you were asking about Vici's last pick with the Wisp.
Yeah, I was, but
Team
Sorry, I just had that
Secret's
thought
turn to battle.
because I haven't seen Drow a lot. I'm still a huge believer in the hero. That's like
yeah.
the quintessential TI carry, just because it gives you that damage accelerate. A lot of the drafts nowadays, if you think about it, have the supports buffing up their carries, right? A lot of Magnus offlane Ogre 5. Drow is
10
unique in
seconds
that you're a
remaining.
carry that increases the damage of your team.
5
So
seconds
if you're
remaining.
low on it, suddenly this last pick secures like a lot of critical things for a draft. Objective taking, Roche taking.
Vici Gaming's turn
It's really nice.
to
And
pick.
I'm telling you, they banned Spectre. Could see it. I mean, it's a very good Spectre game, just when you see a Puck. But either way, also remember, guys, Undying EG currently ongoing. It looks like
Team
EG's favored.
Secret's
They
turn
also
to
picked
battle.
AA
EG
early
suck.
against a Wisp. Whoa! Now it's I'm just saying, Drow, dude. It's the Medusa counter. You hit
Okay.
a faster timing, and you just outrange her for the most part. It's so good here.
Other good heroes against Dusa, Sniper, Tinker,
Yep.
but both of them are
10
countered
seconds
against Storm
remaining.
Spirit, which is
Yep.
probably why Vici Gaming they set this up, right?
5 seconds remaining.
They could Alchemist here as well,
Okay.
but you
I
have a
get-
tiny, so
It sounds like to me there's this common trend of just reaching a faster timing.
You may now
I'm
select
gonna go for the
your heroes.
Magnus instead.
yeah, like I think I'm not putting enough emphasis. Like they were going for a Zai hero, realistically. I know he likes to play Puck, but you basically like Secret didn't have much time, and if they don't take an offlaner, they have to completely rearrange their draft concept, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah.
like it's like, okay, wait, Tiny's going mid. Like your win condition that's been set in stone since your first pick is suddenly up in the air. So they just keep it simple.
And
I
they
like-
just go for a combination that works really well with the Puck, right? We're
Yes.
gonna have the coil. We can have RP, which also sets up the Ice Blast as well as Kisses. He can scare them out of the coil, which is very effective.
Yeah, it's a nice pickup, and it's just a
10
natural
seconds
damage steroid Tiny's going to be strong. Going to be able to go
5
toe-to-toe with the
seconds
Dusa.
remaining.
Like, no question, so long as you stay even, at some point get ahead. And it's really nice when you have a couple of heroes that effectively force BKB. Puck AA, Snapfire, that's so much magical damage. You need to buy BKBs on all cores. But you have an RP, and then you're also going to have that massive physical damage output thanks to the empowered Tiny. So you're forcing BKB, but at the same time, that doesn't give you like the right itemization to survive against Secret's 1-3 punch.
Yeah. All right. This is going to be a hell of a game, I think. Vici Gaming and Team Secret. Team Secret definitely going into this TI as one of the favorites, but not the favorite, like many TIs in the past. And they haven't looked like the favorite either. They've looked a bit lackluster, but if they can take down such a strong team in Vici Gaming, it actually kind of gives a little bit more credence to how strong Secret is. And they would actually, again, if they manage to get 2-0, they would actually be placing second in this group.
And I wouldn't say they've looked bad. Like, the thing is, I think their record's a little deceiving. Well, I don't know, I didn't watch either series, but they got 2-0'd by Beast Coast and 2-0'd by Fnatic.
Yeah.
Both, funny enough, in a way, like Secret's Kryptonite, right? Very aggressive squads. They took a game off LGD. Like, the only game that anyone's taken off of LGD was
Prepare
Team
for
Secret.
battle.
And they only dropped a game to Elephant. They 2-0'd everybody else. There's matches against Secret specifically from day one were decisive. They won that series in less than an hour. We'll see. I mean, I have a lot of faith in the lineup.
Okay.
I think in a lot of ways these two teams are kind of brothers in a sense. Like when I think of Vici and Secret, I think a lot of the community were like, yeah, they're really good teams. They're not going to bomb out. They probably won't win. They'll be like 5th, I think that was a lot of teams' expectations.
Yeah.
Somewhere between 3 and 8. And both have like similar, it's like similar vibes, just very professional, a lot of veterans.
30 seconds.
And a little bit of new blood here as well. For me, anyway, Vici Gaming, it's all about this support duo, which I'm kind of curious how they're going to be able to function. Normally, it's like DY and PYW are like playing some sort of supports that can actually move around a bit. DY is just going to be tied, obviously, to Poyoyo in this situation. It's going to be PYW and Old 11 who can be making all the moves. They've got physical damage and minus armor.
The battle
So
begins.
we'll see how their lane goes, at least. Look at this setup here from Secret. Yapzor and Puppy making it so Poyoyo has to go the long way around in order to get to lane.
Yeah, I'm just all about this mid matchup. Nisha, his first TI playing middle against Ori, who is rapidly approaching his 5-year anniversary as the mid player of Vici Gaming.
And he's been... I mean, I always keep stating this. I feel like Ori is like one of the most improved players since the first, the first time we saw him. And
Yeah, he is somebody I think I changed my opinion on quite a bit. Like, I always saw him as like a weaker laner, and I can't remember the tournament. It might have been DAC. He was playing a Huskar mid against a Viper, which should have been an unwinnable matchup, and then he solo killed the Viper 3 times, and just won his team the game. I'm like, wow, this guy's the real deal. All right, and yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Top lane, Tiny. Pretty standard. Tiny doesn't really lose lanes. One of the reasons it's such an excellent carry. Bottom lane, kind of same deal. Medusa against Magnus. Probably just going to be trading, but Medusa should be favored.
oh, nice hard camp pull. Yapzor able to get a really early pull. I'm surprised they weren't able to keep that more blocked out. I guess the multiple sentries that Yapzor brought to lane are going to be able to come in handy here and make sure that Zai gets a much nicer creep equilibrium. And Zai, like, if you've watched Zai off lane, you know that this guy puts everything he has in order to freeze the creep wave right in front of the tower. He will do everything he possibly can to make sure it just sits here and he can keep farming forever.
I think it's a really underrated mechanic. A lot of I figure it must be something that the original Secret roster discussed, because S4, Zai specifically have incredible knowledge of like creep mechanics. Ooh. Oh, whoa, what a move.
Nice skewer back all the way into tower range here. Poyoyo, I think, is going to be okay here, but he's going to be losing all of his mana and not feeling very good about the lane. They're going to keep going for a little bit more. Shockwave was a few more seconds off. All in all, very nice pressure there from Zai and Yapzor.
That's a really cool combo. Yeah, and hey, that's why lane control in front of the tower is important, right? The whole play is set up. Oh, they got him again.
And the skewer back on both of them here. DY doing whatever he can to body block up Zai and keep Poyoyo alive. And again, they will, but this aggressive duo that's coming out is doing a lot of work. Yapzor going to be chased away, but again, Zai is just being able to totally free farm them to do so, not feeling so hot about it. Top lane, how's that going? Again, in a very aggressive duel. We were talking earlier about the Snapfire Tidehunter dual lane against Tiny and how effective that is with the double minus armor. Similar situation here. Hoodwink just offers a lot of physical damage and some additional disable. That combos really well. They could definitely pressure Tiny well here.
Yeah, for sure. And it's all about the minus armor, right? Blightstone, Hoodwink, very strong hero just because you have 2 spells that deal damage. And the Gush, that's going to be a dead
Ooh, a nice avalanche coverage there. PYW is just going to dive into the trees here. And he cuts through. Puppey is going to be spotted by the tree, and he's now dead. PYW picks up the first blood.
That is huge. Always nice take down enemy support, and especially when you're already winning the lane. And because Matu is pressured, he no mana whatsoever. I think Puppey's going to bring him his completed Soul Ring. But mid lane is very favored at the moment towards Ori. Kind of not surprised to discuss, like, he's a just incredible laner, and
yeah,
this is one of the more skill-based matchups. I think in the previous mid meta, you'd favor Puck, because you could, shove wave, maybe harass into tower. But now that everybody just buys fast bottle, I think Storm is a lot more efficient using mana to just guarantee CS and push waves. You have more armor, significantly more armor than a Puck, 7 at the moment against 3. So your trades are much stronger.
Do you feel like Ori has looked pretty good at the majors? Because I thought so anyway. I thought he was doing, like, he wasn't amazing, but I thought he was doing pretty well. But something that Lizard was talking about was that during the DPC, he said that, like, Ori did not look good, and it very often had to be bailed out by his supports.
Yeah. Oh, coil mid.
Faster level 6 for Nisha means a lane now won. As he gets the successful kill on the Storm Spirit, Yapzor is actually the one who snacks the last hit with his rotation.
That's huge. He didn't push the wave. And he also didn't use stick there. Ori had 8 charges. Unfortunate. It was a really nice glyph. If he doesn't aggro glyph there, then Storm just gets 6, and that's not going to work. But well timed.
Middle tower is under attack.
That's like the reason Dota's so great. They probably kill the Storm.
But the Storm Spirit dying means a chance to be able to rotate into one of the side lanes, and Zai is going to be the victim of just that. Tries in vain to be able to draw the aggro of the hard camp creep. And
well, he soul ringed just to hope that he would die to creeps on that last touch.
Yeah, that's good. Not a bad idea, but doesn't quite work here. They get the scan on him. Want to be able to take the power rune away. It ends up being top where PYW snags it, so. Still gets the refill on the bottle, though, thanks to a bounty rune.
Let's see. The thing is, though, I feel like Secret are the ones that kind of need to get ahead, simply because the team fight from Vici is a lot more formidable. Like, oh, they got him again.
If they can kill him again, it would be really, really good. But this time around, all of those charges may just be enough for Ori to be able to get out. He has to double zip and probably head all the way back to base. No, he's actually got a bounty rune, so he'll get that refill.
So yeah, we have to keep in mind that, the Magnets against Tide matchup, Tide's always been considered a pretty hard counter to Mag, because you just tank the RP.
Yeah.
You're gonna have it cleansed off yourself by Kraken Shell, boom, you counter initiate with Ravage, but you're also this team fight item buyer. And Mag's damage is, He doesn't really provide much. It's helping out his carry. So your team fight is going to be stronger on Vici. Secret need that advantage because their pickoff potential is going to be greater, especially after the Shadow Blade on Tiny. The concern is, like, if you get to a point where Vici have like BKB Storm and Deuce is farmed, suddenly you just don't have the damage because your Snapfire, your AA, and your Puck are all static damage output. Like, they throw their spells out and hope that somebody's dead in that time. Matumba Man is your really only source of consistent DPS.
So they want to be able to take that early advantage then and push that pace like you were talking about. And they're doing a really good job of chipping down this mid tower. Yapsor doesn't even have Little Shredder at all, but they've still got the tower down to a quarter health just because they keep on forcing Ori back time again.
And check. Oh, unlucky. Yeah.
I'm over here.
Surprising that they both went the same rune, but check out Nisha's build. Haven't seen this in some time. He's going Veil.
Visibility.
Okay.
I like this a lot.
Yeah, that's really cool. With considering that his coil sets up so much other people's magic damage.
And stacking magic reduction, resistance reduction is just super effective. You're going to spam Vortex, you're going to Veil, and oh, nice RP.
RP right next to the tier 1 where Nisha and Yapsor were already rotating over thanks to a smoke. Nisha offering a high 5. Poyoyo declines as he heads back to the fountain
And you
in a body bag.
You can see why Zai put so much emphasis on controlling that creep wave, right? That's the second time that they're going to find an opportunity to go on the Medusa, all because he's so close to his own tower. Ori.
Puppy, good attempt at a TP out, but it wasn't going to work. Matumba Man, Ori is going to be able to jump down to the low ground here, so won't be able to chase him, and can also get a refill on the bottle right now. Ori is doing a really good job of just being very efficient. He hasn't had to go back to base very often because of all his runes that he's picking up. Ooh, Fairy's Trinket.
Yeah, I
Gotta
was
love
going to say,
it.
he's so happy right now. That's the dream. Veil going to be finished shortly. And I have noticed, like, Snapfires are very split right now. Yapsor, I think it makes a lot of sense in context, but he's going for the full Magical Burst build. You see some little shredders, but I think that this is the stronger Snapfire just because of how much magical damage you can deal.
Yeah. I mean, this Snapfire, if you run into him one-on-one in the jungle and you're a support or something, like, say, poor DY, half of his health is gone right away from just that 2 combo. Then, you know, Nisha just rolls up and says, thank you very much. I'll take that. I've got the Veil coming in as well. Old 11 could be going for a pretty standard Tide build, Phase, Hood, and looks like we're going to be swapping tower deaths here. 3-3, both these teams mirroring each other quite a lot, but it's the mid lane where there's a big difference. Mortimer kisses, Ori trying to dodge them. They need a couple more shots. The last one is there. Yapsor hits it all the way from the other side of the river. It's going to be caught, vacuumed back in by that bushwhack. But they don't really have the heroes to go for that.
If any of your friends are wondering, why is Snapfire picked so often, guys? Just send them that clip. A Veil and a Coil, and Nisha just like kind of chilled in XP range and said, all right, do your best.
Handle it,
the artillery.
Yapsor.
Yeah. Yapsor is an accomplished World of Tanks player, so.
Is he actually? Are you just making that up?
I would assume so, based on that, based on the targeting.
He is very good at artillery,
Gotta
that's
do
for sure.
Trigonometry on the fly. I'd love to see. I've fun. Oh, this was when I did content way back at the Singapore PGL major. One of my ideas was we want to give players like tests. Right? You know, like, are you smarter than a 5th grader?
Okay.
I really want to see if anybody could find the hypotenuse, but they didn't like that idea. I think it's because all the players would fail. I think all the talent would fail.
Yes. I'm certainly not going to be doing well in a test like that. Mid tower is finally going to be dying here, it looks like. Is the rotation from Vici game. Very interesting that they rotated into their own safe lane tower still. I think anticipating that Secret would try and mirror, right? The fact that they lost their safe lane tower, so most teams will just try and like, okay, we'll mirror, we'll take your safe lane tower in exchange, but instead they just kept poking at mid. And that is very important, right? Because this Medusa wants to be able to play off the triangle quite a bit. And Team Secret is also the ones who want to pick up the pace here. Three-man smoke. Puppey, Yapzor, Nisha. The three magic damage dealers mixed with an ancient apparition. They get one coil. Whatever hero it is, it's dead. It's got to be dead. He's going to dodge the Ice Blast, but again, there's too much magic damage there.
As long as it's like we just got to hit him with half.
Yeah.
They're going to have a nice timing because Secret, they're going to go for the double blink. It looks like Nisha will have his. He might just go bots instead, but you're going to have his eyes up momentarily as well.
PYW, you got to run. Old 11 is tanky, and he's going to try and make himself a bit of a target here, especially knowing that they already used the Ice Blast and also the coil is going to be on cooldown. He's willing to stand here and hold this tower alive, but PYW is an easy kill if Secret were to ever find him.
Yep. And this, if you'd like a clip, is why Tidehunter is meta, boys and girls, because you just sit on the tower, buy the hood, accept the damage, and giggle as the enemy team flee from your presence. Nice invis TP. They love to find Poyoyo. That's the goal here, because Deuce is always going to try and mirror map, play away from potential death. You should be able to find them on the triangle. They already have a pre-sentry down, though, so it should be okay.
Plus, they don't want to be playing in the same lane as the Tidehunter anyway, right?
Exactly.
So it's like it's a very nice like Secret realizing they're just on the wrong side of the map. They try and put themselves somewhere else, but Poyoyo is farming the triangle where it is very safe most of the time.
Yeah, and you can see also like these teams, they're all business, right? No big mistakes. Oh.
Coil into the kisses. A couple of them are going to land. The Ice Blast is coming in. They're going to get the relocate out.
Oh, but he broke the coil. Okay, he's fine. Oh, man, he broke the coil. He would have died there if that blast had landed in time.
And he actually gets a refill on his bottle as well, so they didn't take him back to Fountain or anything, but Ori's still going to be decently healthy after all of this. And seeing all of those spells cast, Vici Gaming say, okay, you've messed up. Old 11 will tank the tower, and Poyoyo will start putting in the chip damage.
Yeah, but yeah, see, there's just no real mistakes, right? You can argue Nisha maybe should have coiled a bit faster. Oh.
Ori. Oh, he
That's
still blew the RP. That doesn't feel good. And the Boots of Travel isn't going to get him there, but Ori's out of mana still. So, massive rotation from Secret is going to net them to get that kill. They're just ignoring the mid lane.
Yeah.
Once again, I feel like both these teams are making the right reads to the scenarios. Yep. Like, spells are on down. We don't want to play here. Let's go somewhere else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, everything, the game is almost like scripted, right? And this is what happens when you get two solid and intelligent, experienced teams up against each other. Like, everything just makes sense. You know, no one's taking some unnecessary risks. To your point, like, okay, Secret, they don't get the kill. So rather than defend mid, they just look bottom, Zai's pressuring, he goes down, but the TPs were already coming out. Is that a play, guys? That's a Tidehunter.
Yeah, he's pretty hard to bring down.
Oh, Zai.
Nice play by Zai coming forward and releasing him from the tree. Big downside of the Hoodwink, and why we see a lot less of it here at TI compared to during the DPC is that they nerfed it, so the Bushwhack is instantly instantly removed if you cut down the tree, and that also includes the damage over time that it does, whereas it used to do just instant damage.
Yeah, I like that change.
I don't like that change.
It's more fitting with the lore.
That's not the lore at all.
Okay, if
that's just how you imagine mechanics should work.
that well, it just makes sense. The tree that you're tethered to is thorny.
Tell me why Bushwhack should do damage over time rather than instant damage. You're being hit by this net, shot from a gun, and then whipped into a tree. Shots coming in. The Ice Blast is going to miss. The Kiss is certainly going to miss. They surely have the Hoodwink. But these other kills, like the kill on Ori or DY, which they would have liked to get with that rotation, will not land.
But keep in mind, Dusa, because you had that earlier start, is growing in the net with it. It was 1,000 about 5 to 7 minutes ago. Now it's up to 2,000 because Dusa naturally is going to farm faster than Tiny for some time. Oh, Mag, is he dead? The Manta Illusions, will it be enough? Do you want to dive? No, you do not.
They could have blown the Ravage if they really wanted that kill with Old 11. In part, right, because they're just trying to play a slower game.
Yeah.
As long as he has Ravage up, there's only so much Secret are willing to do.
That is a good point, because you can make the argument, like, hey, we haven't seen a Ravage all game. Just get the kill. That is a core. But you open the door then for Secret to get aggressive. They probably can't make a move for Roche yet, but they would be able to go and try to establish a presence in the Vici Gaming triangle. So this is nice because it also leaves the threat of a relocate team fight always available for you. The Shadow Blade on Tiny, though, Matu, he sees the squirrel.
If he lets him get away, there he is going to go into the trees, but fortunately he throws out the avalanche before another scramble away from that little squirrel.
Oh, and this is cute. DY, he's actually rushing a pipe.
Radiant's
Oh, okay.
top tower is
I
under
like
attack.
that. It's
So instead of the mech, which obviously countered by the Ancient Apparition,
Exactly.
right?
That's a heads-up move because the Magic Resist aura is incredibly effective, obviously, with so many tools of Secret to reduce it.
Uh-huh.
And yes, mech wouldn't work. There's an AA blast, but
And then Old 11's going to be super tanky to magic
yeah.
damage because he's going to just have his hood and the potential of a pipe given to him as
Dire's
well.
bottom tower is under attack.
But Secret, so do you feel like Secret is on time right now for what they need to accomplish in this game? Do they need to speed it up a little bit more? Are they behind schedule?
I think the game is going as planned. Perhaps they would have preferred to get a couple extra kills with Coil. Like, they haven't really picked up a core in a while, right?
Yeah.
But, like, this is what you expected when you last picked Mag. Because they're effectively just trying to say, look, the Dusa, your typical hard carry, good matchup against Tiny. This hopefully equalizes it or pushes it into our favor. And we're going to have that superior map movement because we have a bots hero to match up
Radiant's
against the
bottom
Wisp.
tower is under
Interesting
attack.
build from Ori. He rushed Sanj Kaya.
Yeah,
So
it's really nice.
it's curious because Storm is a hero I feel like I just still never understand because it looks like a good Orchid game, right? Like you just kill the supports off. But you can make an argument, I think, because of the reduced duration on, say, Coil, that the status resist is going to be really effective. Oh,
Yeah, and I think it leads into what we were talking earlier with Old 11, as we watch him die, is the fact that they want to just persevere. They don't necessarily want to be super offensive. They just want to make it so Secret doesn't feel very good about going on their heroes, and this just gives more and more time for the Medusa to be able to farm. They're just trying to weather through this storm. He's going to try and jump forward, but an RP onto 2. That is really nice. They're going to try and go for the kill onto Ori first, and he is get blown up. Poyo barely gets off the Stone Gaze, but he is going to be able to retreat. Nice pickup there for Secret, and one of the first RPs that we've seen besides, what, that one at bottom where it didn't really do anything. Oh, PYW found as well here.
Tower is under attack.
how is that going to work, Cap? Again, there's no Orchid, right? So you just had to expect that you'd get the pull off before Nisha phase shifted, but
Yeah.
he's not, like, he's got pretty good reflexes. Like, Nisha's a real deal. And I haven't seen Secret play very much, but I've heard middling commentary on Nisha. Some say he's just owning, and looks like he did during last year's online portion, and others feel like he's underperformed.
How do you feel he's done this game?
Dire are
I'd
scanning.
say it's like what's expected, right? This is showing
Sure.
up, doing your job. But it's not gotten like nitty gritty, right? He's gonna have to work overtime. Is
Okay.
that gonna be cool with him?
Radiant's bottom tower
Is he
is
gonna
under
phone it
attack.
in?
Guess we're going to see.
Take an extended leave of absence? We'll see.
Currently, he's 9-5 Nisha.
It's gonna be a tough game for either side, though, to be quite fair. I mean, Secret have a 4K gold lead, but end of the day, like, we've yet to see a Ravage, okay? Like, there's still no Blink Ravage, and you can even see win probability slightly favoring them, but that's just due to the gold lead. It doesn't really give them a decisive advantage one way or another. It's just gonna come down to teamfight execution.
Yeah, and I believe VG Gamer are finally reaching a point where they feel comfortable taking a team fight and involving the Medusa. They jump forward, Old 11. Smoke breaking. Matama Man does have the Silver Edge now, so this is not expected for this Titan or Old 11 so far forward. He's died once before. He knows how quickly he can die to this combination of Secret. I cannot believe he disrespected their damage like that.
Yep. And that is another reason Tiny is so damn strong. The Silver Edge buffs, probably the perfect item for the hero. And Tidehunter just got whomped. Still no Ravage used, but MVP Zai. He stood, broke the smoke, and then blinked away as Old 11 went forwards. Didn't even have RP, but made himself useful, and then Matu came over, cleaned up.
Look at that. Kiss is being used just to make sure that Vici Gaming isn't actually trying to contest this Roshan. It is going to be given up by Vici. Aegis.
It's really, like, watching Secret play, you know, I just imagine Puppy as this, like, old, grizzled veteran. You know, Tywin Lannister in the back lines. It's like lay in the artillery fire. You know, we're going to go take that hill. It's like, all right.
Everything just planned out, safe.
Yeah.
Very, like, the story that we're painting between VG Gaming and Secret is so different than the one that is painted of LGD and OG.
Yeah.
Which is funny because those are the 4 teams in my head that look like they are probably going to do some work in that upper bracket, right?
Yeah. LGD, OG, it's like straight up chaos a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like, they're just doing weird stuff. They're all over the place. They're diving towers.
Oh, that's it. Barely
Yeah.
in front of the Avalanche
See,
Sun.
The thing that Secret and Vici are so cool about is that they're really good like cutting their losses. You know, some teams buy back and try to defend and fight that Roche.
Yep, yep.
And you can also see that they'll look for a kill sometimes. Like the stun missed, the just like chase for half a second. Okay, back away, regroup.
Radiant's
Yeah.
No
middle
need
tower has
to
fallen.
get excessive. And Vici, you know, they're just letting tower die. They have the Scotty on the Dusa now, but they're really not in a position to fight into Aegis.
So now they're going to work towards the butterfly timing, which will be really big against Tiny, who doesn't really want to build
Okay,
MKB
Ori, wait,
anyway.
Ori,
But
Ori.
Ori, what are you
That
doing,
was-
buddy?
If we could run that back, he zipped all the way to the tower, so he was near out of mana, and then
Yeah.
just stood there.
Is under attack.
Yeah.
Well done by Secret, though. Just keep camping that area, but I figure you gotta expect that's a possibility if you're gonna just play alone at your own tier 3.
The last 5 minutes, they've been, like,
Top tower is under
decimating Vici Gaming. They just keep on getting this, like, 1 kill out of the
Yeah.
5. They keep on being able to take what, you know, we were saying, very clean game. They're finding mistakes out of Vici Gaming,
Yeah.
and it's escalating very quickly. This Dagon now coming out from Nisha, who we saw last fight against the Tidehunter. That just means that these squishy heroes like the IO and the Hoodwink got to be terrified of him.
And they're doing. I mean, this is a big match for Secret. Remember, they win this game, they force at least a tiebreaker to stay upper bracket. Quite possibly just getting into it straight up.
Relocate. Gonna try and get this kill, and they should be able to. DY just trying for some sort of cheeky split push. Again, I guess, just trying to stall the game out.
Yep. And
Are they all inning on this Medusa concept too much? Because let's say the game does stall out and he gets the butterfly, and you know, let's just say the Secret don't actually build this net worth lead anymore. Is this Dusa somehow going to out? Like, is she actually good enough against Tiny to beat Tiny Mag?
I think with the assistance of Tidehunter, yes. However, I do fear that like Vici just haven't like made their own plays.
Well, Tidehunter, he may be kind of being dealt with. Ravage is going to be forced out of him. They do manage to get the bushwhack.
Oh.
The tree is cut down, though, by the Storm Sphere. It doesn't matter. They got him. Life number 1. Secret are certainly going to fight for life number 2. Matama Man just Silver Edge walks away. Okay, no problem.
Just patience, both sides. That was the first Ravage, though. I think that's a little bit of the concern. Like, this is a 10k gold lead because we have 0 Ravage kills. Like, we just haven't seen the Storm or the Tide have that same kind of game impact in comparison to Nisha's Puck. Zai's Mag has been, I think, excellent. A very quiet game in a way from him, but he's been in the right place, right time.
Close call.
And I always love the itemization from Secret. You know, you've got a Glimmer Cape mech on your Snap, then you have a Solar Crest on Puppy. Like, just really committing.
And early BKB by Zai.
Yeah.
Like, they're making sure that they know they're winning the game, and they're going to make sure they don't bleed
Yeah.
any heroes to Storm Spirit.
Exactly, and like even
Nice shockwave skewer up into the high ground. Old 11 looking to be able to force back down,
Wow.
and nice cookie dodge. When you have that low of HP and you're that close to getting an escape, oh, they're going to turn back in. Trying to catch
Yes,
Nisha, but he
BKB.
managed a phase shift, and he does have BKB on Zai. You could see him baiting out a little bit, seeing if he can get Vici Gaming to overcommit.
Whoa.
Missed that skewer. That was a close call.
It's so fun. It's like they're just playing chess right now. This is great. Really, like that's why Old 11, you know, one of the more inconsistent players. Like,
Yes.
when he's off, but he can make some pretty nasty plays. And yeah, the presence of mind, juke the cookie, then to get the immediate force staff down. Like that's Dota right there, baby.
Yeah. Vici Gaming have been sacrificing pawns this entire game, though, and they're rapidly
Yes.
running out of sacrifices to throw on the field. It's 4-14, 10,000 net worth lead for Team Secret. And again, I'm not convinced that you can play this kind of like very passive 4 protect 1 style where this Medusa, you can see she's not that strong against Matabaman. Certainly not strong enough to be going up to the triangle by yourself. Hoodwink gets 1 shot. Kyle,
That one was weird.
Yeah.
Like they're also playing under dire vision. Like they didn't take the time to remove the vision. So like Matsu's just walking up the hill with a DD.
Frankly, this is the worst that I have seen Vici Gaming look.
I mean, to credit Secret at the same time though, because they haven't really given them any openings.
True.
But
Yeah,
at the same time, like they're not really doing anything fancy, right? Like they've collected kills when available, and they're just like, okay, what the?
Okay. All right, I'm gonna repeat myself. This is the worst I've seen Vici Gaming look.
Radiant's middle barracks
I kind of agree, Cap.
has fallen.
I mean, this team, like, when they get ahead, they're methodical and relentless. They give you absolutely no quarter to work with. You get absolutely nothing out of them, and they will starve you out for 20 minutes. Nisha is going to be silent, orchided. They do have the hoodwink shot, but it's not nearly enough. This is rough. Tiny turned to stone. Haha. GG. Yeah, that was something else.
So I think as we end, Secret haven't lost with Tiny yet. That was their 3rd win with the hero.
Okay.
They've also not lost with Snapfire. But I think Tiny specifically, the way you watch them play, like it just kind of made sense.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't make any mistakes, and I don't want to like they didn't play. It's not like I'm not impressed with the performance, but it's just that was just business as usual, right? Like that was just here's how we're gonna win the game. They didn't deviate from the script. Vici Gaming didn't really create any rewrites.
They were just so certain that it was like,
Yeah.
okay, just hold off. The Deuce is going to carry this, but
yeah.
Tiny is really good.
It's not. Yeah, exactly. It's like
It's not like Deuce is like that much better of a hard carry than Tiny that she just automatically wins with a 10,000 gold deficit.
And Secret, like they're incredible. Like they're very well prepared. Like they're a squad of professionals.
Yeah.
If you keep them, if you leave them in their comfort zone and just say, okay, like you do whatever you want. You don't throw off their timings at all. Like they're gonna methodically do exactly what they did: take objectives, take kills, take the map. Like that was just clinical, really. Less than 30 minutes. I did not expect that result after opening with the draft.
Now, again, Vici Gaming are already locked into the upper bracket, but if Team Secret does manage to take this second game, it will mean, I believe, that they replace Vici Gaming in that second slot, which means that Vici Gaming becomes one of the teams that is going to be chosen as a potential opponent in the Group B side. Changes up who they're going to be facing dramatically. So
That is true. Yes. Well, it would go down to tiebreaker because you only play tiebreakers if you have an elimination or a difference in like what you would end up in upper or lower. So Vici versus Secret, I believe it would come down to who's beaten higher quality team, and because LGB.
Oh, you don't think the head-to-head would go first if they get 2-0?
Oh, it might be head to head. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be head to
That,
head.
I just assumed that it was going to be that route. In which case, it would mean that Vici Gaming would drop down, and then they would get chosen. They would either get IG or Virtus Pro.
Correct. And that would be really interesting. I mean, VP versus Secret would be cool because they've been scrim partners for the last 6 months, so they know each other intimately. But theoretically, you could set up, if Secret made upper, Secret versus OG, finally, for the first time in TI history.
You know what's funny?
What?
Is if Vici Gaming were to stay in second place,
Yes.
LGD get their choice between OG, T1, or EG, right?
Yeah.
We already talked about the fact that whoever you're probably not going to take OG,
No.
right?
Or do
Which
you?
means Vici Gaming would be left with OG.
But how about like what that would be, like what's the there's a saying about it, Like, go like facing your fears, whatever.
Okay.
Like you're afraid
Take
of OG.
that plunge
they
early,
keep beating
just
yeah,
do it.
Just be like, you know what? Yeah, we will play OG. Let's go. What are we afraid of? We're the best team in the world. That would be beautiful.
Yeah, that's riding on the deathbed of many of a previous team at TI8 and TI9. Well, that is Secret putting in business, putting in work for game number 1. We're going to take a break and see what happens for game 2. Last game of is this Group A? I've lost track
Yes.
of the groups. All right, last game of Group A because we no longer have tiebreakers.
Correct. Is it the last game? I think there's other games. but I
Well,
think
maybe
the
there's other
stuff-
games, but it's the last game on this stream anyway for
Yes.
Group A. There are going to be tiebreakers. It looks like Group B is going to have tiebreakers, where they are.
We're in Group B.
We're in Group B.
Dude.
We were assigned to Group A tiebreakers,
wait.
but we're on Group B right now. So I was like, what?
Like, yes. Those of you at home, I'm about to update you on results in the other
Yes.
group. Please
Spoiler alert.
Mute the stream.
Mute
if for
the stream.
some reason you were watching Secret Vici Gaming instead of checking out EG Undying and seeing if there was tiebreakers. Not to say these aren't two great teams, but either way, if you don't know what's going on, mute the stream. Okay. EG lost. They lost Undying.
They
There's no
lost to Undying.
tiebreakers in Group A. And the big
You know what's funny about this? Kyle was so smug and certain. He's like, it happens all the time. You know, the NA team, they're just going to lose to EG. You know what's going to happen. It always happens. It happened to us. It's going to happen to them.
But Moon Meander, or as No Tail just tweeted, Saberlight God. So I didn't see it, but apparently Saberlight popped off. I love that though because that's just vintage NA. You know, you're not playing for anything, right? You're literally just trying to keep NA down. Like, no, you're not going to the upper bracket.
We're not going to the upper bracket. You're not going to upper bracket. We're going to drag you down with us.
It's like running down mid. You know, like you're not getting this MMR. Like,
Think I care upper bracket? IDC upper bracket. Only
but-
cares lower bracket.
Okay, before we get into the draft, the question is PSG LGD. You get to choose OG or T1. I was saying I think they pick OG because otherwise you're gonna get OG saying, "See, they're afraid. They're scared of us. They don't want to play us."
Yeah.
You just pick them.
10 seconds.
No, I
remaining.
actually turned my mind around about that.
You're here to win.
Because,
5
yes,
seconds
because one,
remaining.
you're here to win. Two, I don't think you want to
Okay,
feed
it's turn
weaker
to
teams
bat.
than yourself if you think you're the strongest team. Don't feed weaker teams to OG. Don't expect somebody else to beat them for you. You go, you knock them out, you knock them down to the lower bracket right away. And then, you know, I mean, they've never been in lower bracket for TI, so who the hell knows how
10
they're going to
seconds
be able to
remaining.
perform there. So, yes, this is right here.
5
This second
seconds
game is a
remaining.
battle for who gets second.
Team Secrets turn to
So if you're LGD, you're going to choose between OG and T1, and whoever wins this game will get the leftover of that choice. And then the loser will be potentially chosen by IG. If not, they will match up against Virtus Pro.
10 seconds remaining.
And just checking. So Undying actually ended
5
higher
seconds
seeded than
remaining.
EG because the
Gaming's
tiebreaker is
turn.
actually your results against teams lower than you.
Oh,
And
okay.
Undying 2-0'd Alliance and EG 1-1'd them. So by beating Alliance, Undying get the choice of who they want to play, which
10
will come
seconds
down
remaining.
to Quincy Crew or
5 seconds
Fnatic.
remaining.
Fnatic, unless Elephant, because Quincy Crew just beat
Gaming's turn to
Elephant. So if they do that again, then it'll come down to tiebreakers. So we'll see how that plays out. Spirit beat SG, so they are locked in as well for tiebreakers. Beast Coast and PSG LGD are still currently playing. I'm gonna check up on that
10
one.
seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I thought you were gonna help me there, Cap.
Oh, I think you were
I
just
can't
figuring
find.
something out.
I was, but I'm
Team
very
Secrets
slow.
turn to pick.
Okay.
For some reason, I don't know, like if we, what's going on? But Dota 2 isn't on like the Twitch main page. I gotta like scroll down.
Yes.
So, hello, TI's going on
Yeah,
Twitch.
Twitch. For whatever reason, I'm not gonna
10
say any
seconds
conspiracy
remaining.
here. I just assume that people new to Twitch, because you're not
5
signed in or
seconds
anything, people
remaining.
new to Twitch just typically do not check out Dota 2, which is a damn shame because we're the best game.
Yeah. But the reverse of that is people who do watch Dota 2 only watch Dota 2.
Hell yeah. My Dota 2 brothers and sisters out there, you have found the game that will be your game for the rest of your life and my life. We're stuck here together. We're not
Indeed.
going anyway. We are going to be a family for the next 60 years.
60. I think that's a little conservative.
Well, for Kyle, the next 5 years, because he's
What
not
is
going to
that?
last that long. But
Oh.
I plan on
okay,
living
hang
a
on,
very
wait.
long and healthy life.
Okay, I was gonna say, is this a
Secrets
joke about me
turn
getting
to
fired?
bad.
No, it's a joke about me dying. Thanks.
Would you prefer the one about getting fired?
Yes. I would rather get fired than literally die. Yes, then I could still play Dota.
Okay, but then you're still involved in Dota.
Vici
You're not letting go of Dota.
turn to ban.
Well, I mean, I don't think I'm not gonna get VAC banned. I don't think. If I haven't been banned yet, what?
Oh, that'd be really funny. That would be really funny.
There-
You haven't checked the contract for TI. Have you ever read through that thing?
Of course.
You get fired from
10
TI,
seconds
you no
remaining.
longer get to play Dota
Secrets
2.
turn to bad.
That's not. No. What? What?
That's not true. I'm making that up. But
What?
it would be really funny. It would be really funny. They're like,
We've
you don't
got
get to
your
work
ID.
our events. You don't get to play our game.
Get the hell out of here.
We don't want you anywhere.
10
All right,
seconds
game 2
remaining.
draft is underway. We've got Tiny first pick. Elder Titan Earthshaker
5
is the
seconds
response this time
remaining.
around from Vici Gaming. Marana for Team Secret. Feels like already Vici Gaming are taking something a little bit more active. They're not going to have damage problems, and they're going to have, I think, relatively active heroes.
Yep.
It just, that last game was
Vici
too
Gaming's
passive. I was trying to,
turn ban.
give them the benefit of the doubt. You were
Yeah.
talking about the problem with the Sanj and like them not
Yep.
being able to be aggressive with like an Orchid, and I'm like, nah, just survive. But like,
Secrets turn
And
I don't think you
this-
could play that style of Dota at TI.
Indeed, and I will say this game is pretty interesting because it is the. I was checking tiebreaker rules during the break. If Secret win, they are second place in the group, because they also 2-0'd Team
10
Spirit.
seconds remaining.
So they have tiebreaker over both Vici and
5
Team
seconds
Spirit.
remaining.
Then you have on the other side OG and T1. Again, we can speculate who would LGD pick. So
Mhm.
Secret, if you win this game, play either OG or T1. Whereas if they lose, they can be chosen by IG, or they
Vici
would play their
Gaming's
longtime
turn
scrim
to
partners
ban.
in Virtus Pro.
Oh, yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Because that is something for those of you guys who don't know. We have the DPC in the regular season that goes on. And what is, especially for the strongest teams in the region, you don't actually scrim against the other
10
strong
seconds
teams
remaining.
in your region because you're going to play against them eventually. And that one
5
single match
seconds
is
remaining.
super important. So instead, you play against your sister region. So for North America, you play against South America. If you're Western Europe, you play against Eastern Europe, so on and so forth. So, Team Secret, their scrim partners were Virtus Pro. They're like, we're the best Western European team. You're the best Eastern European team. Let's get better together.
Yep.
And so that would actually be
And it
very
was.
interesting if they end up matching up against each other in
It
the
would.
upper bracket upper bracket.
But you look at these teams and you just think about their accolades, their results, right? You got Group A, IG, VP, OG, T1. Okay, arguably the best teams from 4 regions. Okay,
10
the other
seconds
side,
remaining.
PSG, LGD, Vici, and then Secret,
5 seconds
and then either Team
remaining.
Spirit or Beast Coast.
Yeah.
Those are all pretty good teams. There's no
Yeah.
big difference, I don't think. Right?
I'm confused the point you're making. Yeah, but I feel like
Well,
all of
the
those
upper-
names could be the best in their region as well. You
Well,
can make
okay,
the argument for
That's my whole
LGD
point.
being the best.
They're all
in the-
good. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay.
They're all
there are a
pretty
lot
good.
of quality teams here at TI10.
Yes,
Great
yes.
analysis, Kyle.
Oh, and a lot of firsts, like
Back to you, Dakota.
Team Secrets
EG for the first time, I believe, since TI. I don't even know. I don't know if they've ever not been upper bracket. at
Yeah.
TI. Like ever.
Did they go lower bracket with Mason? I don't think so.
No.
No.
The EGs, their script has always been the same. Get through groups,
10
win that first
seconds
series
remaining.
in the bracket stage, and then boom, top 6, easy peasy. Win
5
another, get
seconds.
top
They
3.
they are notorious for lower bracket runs because they always need time to build up, but that usually doesn't apply to TI. Mostly because TI is such a long extended group stage, right?
And dude, oh man, imagine an EG. Oh, would Undying pick Fnatic or their boys Quincy crew? Like no matter what, it's NA versus NA in a VO1.
One of us is going forward.
Yeah.
I could see that. A little bit of Highlander.
5 seconds remaining.
I don't think they would do it.
I don't think you would pick your brothers. No.
I don't think. Yeah, something about this. I
Messed
feel
up,
like
man.
Moon Meander would be like, no,
Like,
let's take
yeah.
Fnatic.
Who I don't want to play in a BO1 either. But hey, what you gonna do? Sets up the stage for a potential Beast Coast versus Alliance. That's hot. This is nice, dude. I can't wait. All right.
Best of ones are gonna be super hype. The rest of the draft's coming in. Sorry guys, we're just amping ourselves up for what is to come for the TI-10 playoffs. It is getting super fun and spicy. So we've got Dark Willow picked up. High damage, like there is so much damage on Vici Gaming
yeah.
right now. And Team Secret are like, you know what? That's a lot of spell damage you're throwing around. Let's go ahead and nip that one in the bud and pick Silencer.
Hold up. I got to give a quick shout out real fast. Let me
Team
double check my
Secret's
facts here.
turn to
Yeah.
ban.
So just a shout out to T1. They got 2-0'd by OG, okay?
Yeah.
They then won their next 8 games. They 2-0'd
Ooh.
Aster, then Alliance, then Undying, and then Thunder Predator.
They're on a hot streak.
They went
10
from
seconds remaining.
2-6 to 10-6, and they needed every single one of
5
those wins, or
seconds
they'd be playing a
remaining.
3-way tiebreaker to make it into the bracket. And now,
Damn.
that's crazy. Talk about coming in clutch. You bet you don't believe in Cuckoo? Then you must be Cuckoo.
I'll give it to you.
Damn.
Vici Gaming gonna go for the Spectre after
Whoa.
seeing Silencer Ember Spirit, so that Silencer now becomes food.
They picked it into
Vici
Ember.
Gaming's turn to ban.
Interesting. I've always liked Ember Spirit against Spectre.
Why?
Well, you deal a bunch of your
Secrets
damage like
turn to
magically, right?
ban.
So it's all absorbed by Flame Guard. When the dispersion reflects it, it's returned as the same type.
Okay.
And in addition, you're just really active early on. Like you're
Yeah.
all over the map.
Yeah.
It's tough for Spectre to ever get away from you. And Spectre can't really kill you. Sure, if you get,
10
the point where you have like
seconds
Manta
remaining.
Ags Scotty, it's really annoying for Ember to play. But theoretically,
seconds
you're gonna
remaining.
get ahead before that point.
I do think I like the archetype of what I've seen a lot of these Spectres, which is just like some massive team fight where this 4-man ball can just kind of like walk into people. And with the Axe build of Spectre, she's like, I can
That's
always
true.
join you. Don't
That-
worry. Shadow Step's ready.
Yeah, that actually, we're gonna see this hero. See, I don't think it's something you can
Secrets turn
first
to pit.
to. You remember the original OG where they were just like, yeah, with Spectre, Centaur Spectre, good luck, have
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
I don't think it's quite that strong, but the Aghanims, I think, changes completely the power level. Just because, used to be you had a clock, whereas now you're just always able to play a part
10
because
seconds
of
remaining.
the single target haunt.
5 seconds
Very good against
remaining.
Silencer and Mirana, to be fair. These heroes
Vici
hate
Gaming's turn
this
to
matchup.
pit.
What's the offlaner for Team Secret? Zai is going to be playing Slardar here. So he's going to be amping up the damage of Tiny Ember Spirit, but Vici Gaming, a very fast pick there. Necrophos
boy.
for Ori.
That is nasty. This matchup for Ember is impossible, number one. Number two, you have ET Spirit. There's no save for the Scythe right now, okay? None. That's like, Necro is an insane last pick hero. You're also going to, so you drop the Spirit, remove all their magic resist as the Scythe is landing. So it's a massive damage. It's a great lane, and it owns Tiny. Tiny's going to have like 4,000 HP. He ever gets to to half, he just dies in a Scythe.
Well, even that, right? If he gets initiated on by Earthshaker, he's going to get Earth Splittered.
Yes.
Right? That's percentage-based damage as well. So if you get hit by Earth Splitter and Reaper's Scythe, you're probably just always dead.
Yes. This is a nasty draft. You're also going to naturally buy items that remove the amp and the chains. Like I'm sure, he'll have like some kind of Yules or Lotus or even just Greaves on the Necro. So, just good luck, Nisha. This matchup sucks. Like I don't know how to play it, honestly. Now, the hard part is like finding a way to make Necro work. I played this a bunch because it's just a lot of fun, and you always win your lane middle. But there's a lot of questions about like what is your power spike, right? In the past, like I feel like in the metas where Necrophos looked the best, you were going for this like Midas build, maybe Dagon Blink, you know, these super aggressive items, and you just kind of took over the map. I don't think that's why you pick it in this spot. But what do you buy, right? Do you buy Veil? Like, do you get like some hood thing? Like, it's weird because you never really get this item like a traditional mid, like a Quap or a Storm, right? Hey guys, I have Orchid. Let's fight.
Yeah.
What is that for a Necrophos? That's always the difficulty for me in understanding how teams want to utilize it.
I will say that despite it being third pick, this is a really good silencer game.
Yes.
If you take away the threat of the Spectre, who like most team fights, he's gonna haunt and he's just gonna jump on the silencer first and he's just gonna die super fast. All of these other heroes from Vici Gaming, they cast a lot of spells, multiple spells in team fights. Most of them are very short cooldown, like Necrophos, and they're also combo heroes who do not like being interrupted, right? Both the Earth heroes, Earthshaker, as well as Elder Titan, they have very
30
clear
seconds to
combos.
battle.
PYW wants to be able to hit somebody with Brambles, run in, and hit him with Bedlam. I think Puppey is going to be crucial in a lot of these team fights because you can get a ton of Arcane Curse damage, and your Global Silence is going to be critical in when you use it and how you use it.
Yeah, I'm looking at Puppey. He's always been a great R button player, though. I think one of the best. And I think it's surprising. We were just joking. Like, I'm surprised Cap, being as old as he is still mechanically skilled as a commentator. Puppey, still, I think, one of the best fives mechanically. Like, he is not washed. There's a lot of older first-generation players that are washed. However, considering Puppey is also the only person in the world to have attended every TI as a player, maybe there's a reason for that. I don't
It's
know.
true. It's very, very true.
Yeah, this
Vici Gaming, they certainly don't have that same kind of accomplishments behind them. Some of them pretty young players. Ori definitely being the oldest amongst the crew. Arrow sliding in, almost caught DY there for a second. So we see our matchups here. Mirana, Slardar versus Elder Titan Spectre. They're going to be able to pressure the hell out of Poyo-Yo. He's going to have a hard time with this lane. It's why they picked up this Slardar towards the end of the draft. They knew they were going to be able to crush the Spectre. So that's going to be a hard lane. You already talked about how this mid lane matchup is going to be very difficult for Nisha. So we'll have to see how he performs. So what is the bottom lane matchup? We've got Silencer up against Dark Willow Earthshaker. I feel like this one's not too bad for Secret. I think they could win both their side lanes.
Yeah, and it's interesting, you know, Puppey, I see almost all 5 support silencers never skilling their W, which seems weird on paper because you only get stolen intelligence. Like, I see people spamming the +2, but with these silencers going, you know, 302, they don't actually get the +2, which means that they actually give a -2 to themselves. Puppey, being a +10 TI player, skills at level 1, because if you get the kill, I think that intelligence is worth it, right? It's 100 gold worth of int that you also take from your opponent.
I would also say that getting your W is much better for trading.
Yes.
Which is what you have a huge advantage over Dark Willow because you are longer ranged than him. And if you hit harder because you have your glaives, then you're just going to win that matchup straight up. So if he just plays on the far left-hand side and battles against PYW, they're going to feel pretty good about this lane.
Definitely. And it makes a lot of sense because you're also stealing the damage every attack. So
Nice grab there from PYW, popping the Shadow Realm to get the long-range hit and pull the creep wave off of the hard camp that it was aggroing to.
Yeah. And if you check out mid, by the way, it's as expected. It's a Necrophos 12-7 and the Ember Spirit taking heavy harass and 6-0. The other benefit and why this hero is so strong, you can already see what he's done. Do a double. He's going to be okay. You don't need Bottle on mid Necro. So he just bought double Null, and now he's incredibly strong.
Nisha just keeps on pulling the creep wave into him, knowing how defensive he kind of has to play in this sort of setup. 10-0 for him. Yeah, Psor and Zai, they've been pressuring Poyoyo. DY did manage to get an easy camp stack, which is really good for Elder Titan, and it's also why the Secret here are going to kill the stack, so there's no longer that pull. Also, no longer the extra units for the Spirit to play off of.
Oh, I love this from Puppy. You see a lot of supports. You don't want to pull a full wave to these camps. You
The
just get
patented Puppy half pull, baby.
yeah.
I studied this, and I was like, Puppy's onto something here, and I
Yep.
was telling Jenkins about this like a year ago. I'm saying, this is broken.
Yeah, because if you pull the whole wave, then you just kill it off and then end up double waving. Whereas if you pull a half, you get the denies easy. Nice. Nice.
Radiant
But Tubba Man could have prioritized doing damage. Instead, he prioritized saving his captain. Very sweet.
And Matumba changing up the build. Previous game, max tree grab, no soul ring. This game, soul ring, and looks like he's going to max stun. So playing a bit more offensive, possibly just to get his 5 support stacks. Or,
Oh, the toss doesn't actually land on Old 11. They certainly would have
God.
gotten that kill otherwise. PYW is going to pop the Shadow Realm here. Both of them limping away on a sliver of HP. A tree toss, a hit here on PYW into the tree toss can get the first blood. They get it. The offensive choice of the Avalanche
Yep.
being leveled up works out.
yep. And now we get to see Twitch chat. Is it a +2 or a -2? It's always a +2 for me, but I'm
What?
a positive
No,
person.
it's always a -2 in Twitch chat.
No, it's a +2.
Maybe on your stream. Not on this. Not in an official pro game.
I think it depends on the players involved.
I don't believe that for a second. I believe that it is always -2 in pro games.
Yeah. Either way, I'm always surprised when I see like 404 builds on Silencer, just because of the lack of int. You get these
Yeah.
streaks, then you don't get the lasting benefit.
And again, like one of the biggest upsides of Silencer as a lane support is the harassment you're able to do with Glaives, combined with the fact that you can also orb walk and things
Yes.
like that. You can be able to harass underneath tower without drawing tower aggro. There's like so many things you can do by being able to have Glaives.
Yeah. Let's see. Level 6 on Ori, who, like I said, it's just, I actually think Nisha's doing quite well in this lane. Nice stun up top.
Not
Hard to
enough to kill Poyoyo, but certainly enough to like keep him out of lane. Like, okay, you can't do anything until you get a sound.
Yeah, and I dig this from Zai. We've seen JT do it. I think a lot of offlaners are going to consider this because you don't want... Like, Helm of the Dominator is so good, I think primarily because of the build-up. Helm of Iron Will is a busted item to then continue laning with. What do carries always abuse? That their support is bringing them regen. Offlaners don't always have that luxury. So you get this Helm, and suddenly you're strong enough to self-sustain, but if it builds into nothing, then it feels a little weird. However, strength offlaners, they love Armlet, especially a hero like Slardar, who actually is a beast when he auto-attacks with this item.
Yeah. Combined with the fact that side lanes are very important in this meta, and having an offlaner that scales is super good. Old
Yes.
11 barely survives through all of that when Matumba Man couldn't actually throw out the tree there.
JT's got a stun. Not gonna be able to use it though. Now, so the interesting thing, going back to the Necrophos, he did what I feel like I always found myself doing, which is you just go for the hood. It just kind of like this quality of life item gives you a little durability, but it means that he won't be able to scale super hard. But he's gonna play this game in a way that theoretically he just never wants to die. JT, they got a wall.
Oh, he's out of remnants. Just straight up Reapered.
Wow.
Did they have vision here?
Yeah.
No. What?
Yeah, Yapser just killed the ward.
Oh, okay.
But what's weird is I thought Nisha saw him with his own ward and just kind of died.
Yeah, just didn't move fast enough. Elder Titan's on the other side. All of a sudden, you get clapped, and big kill.
Yeah.
Add in the extra death timer in there as well. Nisha not going to be very happy. You can see him all the way there at the bottom of the course. And again, you know, like you said, you thought he actually did pretty well in lane, and I believe that. It's just we're trying to emphasize how bad this matchup is for you.
Yes, and they also made it extra annoying. They gave Ori a ward, so we blocked the easy camp a little while ago. Yapso just cleaned that up for him, and they warded offensively. So they kind of corralled him into the triangle, and then had a ward placed to just walk over and scythe him in the mouth. So just a really nice job, and I want to stress, this is unplayable. Like, Ember, your level 1 shield gets nuked off, and you can't actually harass Necro, and he doesn't have to buy bottle. So he just gets 2 nulls and suddenly has more damage, some spell amp, and it's just so impossible.
So Secret,
Tower is under attack.
they may be happy with their side lanes, but Nisha's not going to be too excited about how his game is going so far. But it does look like Vici Gaming are the first to break in this laning phase. They're going to try. Poyo jumps over. Where did he go to? He comes back to Zai's arms because he had nowhere else to go. He was going to feed a kill either bottom or he's going to feed it to the Ember Spirit. And he certainly doesn't want to give Nisha some sort of comeback.
Yeah. That was all Zai, though. Boy's a beast. Has the armlet, 1,000 gold advantage, and he just straight up tower dove to find that kill.
Like, where do you put a Spectre when you can no longer lane like this, right? This early on?
Yeah, it's super important because the one downside of Slaughter is that if you don't have a good lane, you just don't have a game. When you do have a great lane like Zai has, like, suddenly people are questioning, like, why doesn't anyone pick this hero, right?
Right.
You know, Armlet, Blink, Echo, BKB, you're gonna be solo killing people.
A little bit of pressure here from Vici Gaming. It's PYW actually rotates down to bottom lane here, but Old 11 is low enough he can't really help out in any way. Once again, it's looking like Vici Gaming is going to be playing a pretty passive game because of this Necrophos pickup, this last pick. Like, with the first 3 heroes, I thought, okay, they're going to be pretty active. Matababan finds the kill on Old 11, as looks like he just caught him with the Avalanche while he was still low. Old 11, maybe I jinxed him a little bit. You know, I said, I was like, I think he's just been solid. I haven't seen a bad game yet. But now he's kind of dying a little bit too much here. That Reaper Sight certainly isn't going to do enough there. Ori completely wrong in his estimation of the damage.
Oh yeah, it's maxed out Flame Guard as well. Like, you win the lane, but this is the thing about Necro. You get this huge lead. This is kind of a given. It's where you're supposed to be, but you have to stay ahead. At a certain point, Ember becomes very frustrating to deal with. You have no actual control. That's the thing about Necrophos and why it's not totally meta, because all you are is damage and survivability. There's no tower pressure, you don't take Roche, like, you don't have stuns.
Yeah, and it means they can't be very active right now. Like, they can't change how their side lanes are going because Necrophos isn't going to be like, it's not like a puck or something that's going to rotate in. Hey, let me help out your lane. Let's get a kill. You know, he's just going to sit there and be like, I'm winning mid, and I'm going to keep winning mid. And Poyo goes like, great for you. I'm jungling right now. It doesn't feel good.
Radiant's courier
snipe.
has been killed.
That also means they lost their tower pretty early. So Zai is going to go from an armlet to a very fast, what I thought was going to be Blink Dagger. Instead, rush in the BKB.
Okay, I like this because you actually need a BKB to play Dota in this game.
Sure.
You know, stuns, like brambles, spirits, necro, like, it's just such an annoying game that BKB makes you just straight up indestructible.
He also doesn't have to start fights, right? Because they've got Ember,
Yep.
Slight Chains into Arrow,
Yep.
right? That's a super sick combination. Tiny can eventually start fights for you or even toss in the Slardar to be able to get that initiation. So it's not like they're missing out on initiation. So if you have it already from somewhere else, might as well just keep on scaling up.
Yep. No, totally agree.
PYW, they know he's here. I'm not sure if that's... I feel like they wanted to smoke and catch something else, but it's a kill, so they're going to grab it.
So much damage.
Yeah. Tiny toss combination to Arrow. Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to credit Nisha too. Like, his one death was really out of his control. And the fact that he's kept up with even just Spectre is impressive.
Yeah. The exact opposite, by the way, of how we're describing Zai Slardar game and his item choice. It's the exact opposite for Old 11. there's nothing going on and they don't have initiation, he has to rush an item that allows you to be able to start fights. He has to be able to make some action happen. And he rushes that Blink Dagger, and he has yet to find a good opening.
That's a really quick one, too. But, yeah, you make a good point. Like, where is that opening? And who does he go for? You know, Matumba Man incredibly tanky. Ember Spirit's near impossible to catch. And Zai is playing under, like, 3 wards. Like, look how tanky Zai. Like, I don't want to go for him.
Yeah. It just means that if Vici Gaming don't manage to make something happen with this Blink Dagger, something really good, maybe multiple times, then in 5-10 minutes time, we're just going to be looking at the comparison of Old 11 and Zai Slardar and being like, okay, they both start fights, but one of them is a hell of a lot stronger than the other.
No, I feel like between the two of us, we've learned the most watching IG, and I think that other teams have caught on to some of the stuff they do well. Notably, it's JT. We talked about this in the previous cast. He always gets that +1 item before the initiating tool.
Yep.
Whether it's Armlet, we saw Meteor Hammer, sometimes a Vanguard, and I really think it's value because you need all 3 cores to stay in the game. And yeah, it's a dead puppy.
Well, he talked about who can you kill? Who can you kill? Well, he certainly can kill the 5 position Puppy, and they're going to use that small window to hit the mid tower. But again, it's only the 5 position, so Secret are more than willing to fight back right now.
Another perk, if you have Mirana, right, for the Invis, you don't need the blink as much either for your slaughter.
Yeah, that is a good point. That is a good point. Also, a nice bit of synergy where if you just Corrosive Haze people, Nisha is able to both keep vision of them and do lots of damage with this light. Running in, trying to steal away the Bounty Rune, but Ori does have a Yule Scepter. Nisha daring him to be Reaper Sight, yeah.
I don't know, man. If he got fissured, he was just dead. Like.
Yeah, or if the Spirit came out as they Reaper Scythed. He only has 1 level of the passive right now from DY, I think, because he went higher levels of Stomp, so. Yeah, 1 level of Natural Order.
I don't see that very often.
Look out, DY! Dodges the arrow, but the Avalanche is not going to be as easy to dodge. Oh, the toss!
No.
But Tubman just tosses Yapzor in and says, goodbye! Have a good trip. Fly safe.
An interesting maneuver.
Literally tossed into a fish. Oh!
Very close. Very chill. Another very relaxed game.
Yeah.
You know, all the deaths make sense, right? Like nobody's just like fed away their life. What?
Maybe Old 11 a little bit.
Oh, okay. There was one, but that Old 11 always gets one.
Yeah, true.
But it's just a very like methodical game, and I think part of it is why these two teams are considered so good, but yet not viewed as like a top 3 favorite at TI, right? Because I feel like they're giving each other so much space.
Yule Scepter to dispel out the silence, but he still gets up on the arrow. They're going to have to use this Terrorize, but Yapzor's still going to go for the kill. Fortunately, Ori, the stun goes away. He's able to get off the Hood of Defiance and no longer in danger.
Nice job on PYW. But I'm a little...
Look at that. Dead even, 50-50. A little bit different than game 1 where Secret was getting the edge in net worth, and it was actually...
That's because Dota Plus is biased and loves Spectre.
True.
And I don't really know if I would agree necessarily because you have a natural Silver Edge buyer in the Tiny who is doing very well. He already has the Shadow Blade. And I just look at Secret's lineup and think, how are you going to teamfight them with Matu just running in with Silence covering him? Not to mention, Zai is huge. And I think Slardar is super underrated, especially with this kind of build. Like, Armlet BKB, he can run in. If he just bashes Earthshaker, he will kill him by himself.
Yeah.
All he has to do.
You always talk about how, like, Spectre works really well with damage reduction because the dispersion applies before the reduction, right? And isn't that, like, opposite argument also true? That, like, you apply a bunch of minus armor to this hero, right? Like, you're just able to cut through the hero and maybe even do extra damage if you get him into negative armor, and the dispersion is only going to do normal.
Yeah. And right now, he would take him to less than 0.
Stomp lands. Earth Splitter's going to go out. They are going to be able to get this combination. The Reaper Scythe is ready to go, but he's not quite low enough. Ori wants to get him a little bit lower before finally dropping it, and it's with the Echo Slam. That is triple ultimates being used to be able to kill the carry of Team Secret, but it also means he's now dead for 70 seconds with the extra death timer.
This is a very strange place for Secret to be playing, Kemp. You had Nisha nowhere in sight. He's just playing bottom right now. You had the silence, but I think you can't. I was thinking maybe Matu could have TP'd, but they were holding the Yules just in case. But more importantly, I think the Scythe, like the extra death timer has been nerfed a bit, but it's still significant when you get the enemy carry, right? 25 extra seconds on the deck for Matu.
Coin for me.
And that was Poyoyo. He has the Aghanims now.
Yeah,
so
I was just about to say, he's done really well for himself. I think part of it is this Falcon Blade that everyone's building on these carries. If you get enough mana regen on a Spectre, she can jungle pretty quickly. Like, Dagger has a low cooldown. Nisha, Shadow stepped on, daggered up, Terrorize thrown out, but it's not actually needed. Nisha is going to be killed by Poyoyo regardless. I don't know. I definitely feel like Vici Gaming is winning this game now, Kyle.
Yeah, I do too. But that was just, you know, I keep cursing these teams because Secret, I thought, was looking very good, but then just like uncharacteristic mistakes, right? They're getting caught enemy triangle without the ability to connect. All they have to do is wait, chill. You BKB Slardar, that's like a game-winning timing, and he's just picked it up. He is now like the strongest hero in this game, but you've already kind of bled enough kills to get rid of that advantage you were holding. And you have Silencer ulti as well, but is that ward just out of range of the sentry?
Oof, yeah, barely.
Ouch.
A couple of the plant leaves are in there, but not the actual ward itself. Secret are going to sneak in a Roshan here. Pop the Lincolns that's on Roshan. Get the Corrosive Haze on there. Matama Man does tons and tons of physical damage. The supports will sit up on the high ground, making sure that Vici Gaming don't get close. Vici Gaming, the Spirit was over there, but I don't think he actually got it all the way in. They're going to start moving over, but Roshan is going to be dying real soon here. PYW throws out the Brambles in Secret. They're going to get a little skittish here. They're going to back up. They're going to be able to catch Zai.
Oh.
Zai is not going to be able to use that fancy, fresh new BKB that he's got. It's still in mint condition.
That was all the Fey Grenade. That is such a huge neutral item to pick up. Old 11 just popped him. And the Roche is so low. Oh, this is wild. They have no buyback on Zai.
Arrow thrown out there. Moonlight Shadow Secret are not going to be wanting to give this one up. The self-Yules. Matama Man has to now back himself away. Poyoyo is getting pretty low on this Roshan, but they should be able to finish up in time. The Terrorize. Oh, jeez, that arrow almost snatched away the Roshan kill. Poyoyo is still pretty low. They could take away his Aegis. Toss, Lotus Orb, toss back on the illusion. But Vici Gaming will manage to retreat. Got the Aegis. Nobody died. Really good situation for them all around.
Oh, that is, takes some cojones to make that play call. They make that move onto Zai, like perfect from Old 11. Like just recognizing the scenario. If he gets BKB off, like you're just not contesting this team fight anymore. But they catch him with the Fisher, and Old 11 just goes for it. You know, boom. The Fey Grenade, I think, was critical. It's just like a bonus 500 damage because it takes the attack damage of your Totem Slam.
Yeah, it just takes whatever your damage is at.
Yeah.
It doesn't use orbs or anything, but whatever your damage is at, that's what the Fey Grenade's going to hit for. And so Enchant Totem, it works that way. It doesn't get used up.
It's one of those items that's like, you know, it's not bad on a few heroes because of the mark that applies vision, but on Shaker, it's just busted. It's, I think, the only neutral item hero combination that measures up to Timbersaw and the tree.
Dire's top tower is
Oh, I would say this one's much better.
Really?
Yes.
I'll give you that. I think so too, actually.
Yeah. Plus, it's a tier 2 item. I also think that like the disparity of like how good it is
On
on Earthshaker and like maybe Tiny.
But yeah, but it's even better. Like Earthshaker's just like, hello, I have 400% more damage.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's definitely much better on Earthshaker, but like I think compared to everybody else who gets it, like everybody else is just like, I guess it's cool, I guess. Okay.
They got the perfect item for Necrophos as well, who just wants the Vambrace for the extra spell amp.
Oh, nice. And then when he's in trouble, you know, switch it over to strength, boom, magic resistance.
Indeed.
That is very nice and very versatile for him. We just had some fresh items picked up, right? We had the mech picked up on the Mirana. Let's see, Ori has Boots of Travel coming in. Anything else? BKB soon on Old 11.
And this is, we've talked about it, but Silencer starts to fall off when you get to the point in the game where all your enemies have tools to remove the silence. Puppy's going to have to be on point, but, you know, Ori has 2 methods of cleansing himself. You can have a BKB Earthshaker, and it just gets really hard. You know, Manta on Spectre, suddenly this Silencer is going to be in some serious trouble.
Yeah, we said that he might be the one coming in really clutch for these team fights, but now his effect is going to be very, very, very much muted, or perhaps neutered entirely.
Yeah, last game, I felt like it was Vici who just kind of didn't get stuff done in a game where I felt they could. This time, I think it's Secret. Like, I don't know if you can afford to play this slowly.
Yeah, they were so far ahead on Zai, but we never got to feel that impact. Yeah. Oh, they went for it! The Shadow Step, and he actually gets the kill. Not during the Reaper Scythe, so no extra 25-second death timer, but that was a sick combination. I wouldn't even think about that one. Shadow Step, which also throws out a dagger, so it's an additional nuke.
That, I can't believe they had the damage for that.
I mean,
fake grenade. Oh my goodness, fake grenade.
Ooh, so much damage. Puppy's already dead. Poyoyo joining in on this fight. Zai is too powerful with that BKB for them to be able to bring him down, but Vici Gaming is going to just control this entire area and finish up the mid tower.
Not bad. Vici definitely looks like a different team this game. Or maybe it's Secret. It's a really tough series to read so far. Previous game, just kind of felt like Vici fell over eventually. Tiny Dota took things. 8-5 though, like that Roche play was really nice. Perhaps that's part of the issue here for Secret is they wanted that Aegis, and then they were going to get aggressive because we're not really giving the Vici draft enough credit perhaps in that running into them is just impossible, right?
Yes,
Spectre, boom, has a single target haunt at all times with the Shadow Step, and then there's an ET, a Shaker, a Necro, a Willow. Like, talk about area control. You don't want to walk up any kind of choke point. You want to be playing in as flat a land as possible.
Yeah, last time around, they felt comfortable running into Vici Gaming heroes. Here, when you go on the Necrophos, Poyoyo, uh-oh. Did manage to Shadow Step over the side, but Nisha is still going to be able to catch him. Now, Nisha's going to be caught, though, in the second life. Poyoyo coming up soon. BKB activated by Nisha, but he's just getting beaten down by Old 11. He pops his BKB to get rid of that extra curse spawn. Oh, mama! That's a lot of damage right there. Puppy is going to go down, but considering the fact that Nisha got away, they killed Old 11. This is a pretty good fight for Secret. The rest of them still need to get out, though. Jumping back in, Zai goes for the quick execution on a PYW. He gets him. Support down, now surrounded by the Spectre, though. And with the fresh Manta picked up, and by yourself at that, these illusions do a ton of damage.
Oh, man. So you could feel a little bit of the power level of Zai as he just obliterates the Dark Willow. But they've not gotten so much done for so long that suddenly this Spectre is incredibly fun. Zai had 1,000 net worth on him at a point. It was like 5K to 4K. And suddenly Poyoyo is massive. And that Manta style is a terrifying item. Talked about it, but that's what also puts Ember on the back foot, especially when you have the rough laning phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One Sun, he gets Shadow Stepped and Manted. You know, like Old 11 has like 5 seconds of disable. The Necrophos could Reaper Scythe you like we saw in that one combination, and that was with before the Manta. Now he gets Reaper Scythe, Shadow Stepped, Manta, and the illusions and the hero all hit like twice before the Reaper Scythe lands. You could just get be full health and be dead.
And I think it's also underrated how good this 15 talent on Spectre is with the Shadow Step, because you get the free dagger, and it's just a 340 damage nuke. like for free. And then you
Yeah,
have another
yeah.
one when you cast the actual dagger.
Yeah.
So he's just rocking up with 680 burst off simply magic damage, plus the auto attacks and right clicks throughout the stun lock.
It's about to hit level 20 as well. It's getting very, very dark game for Team Secret. And unlike last game where we were like, okay, is this Medusa really going to be able to go late game against these heroes that are ahead of it? I think the Spectre has no problem in this game.
This hero, I'm going to check the win rate real fast because I feel like we haven't seen it as much as it should be based on how good the Shadow Step build looks.
Yeah. Now he gets the other dagger talent at 20. 14% dagger slow bonus. So that's 14% going both ways. Oh, the 11 does get caught by Matumba Man. He doesn't pop his BKB quite
Radiant's
fast
middle
enough
tower is under
to
attack.
stop that toss.
Yeah. Spectre has a 9-3 record at the moment.
Okay, that's pretty good. 75%. DY is going to be caught. The double BKB's activated to be able to kill its support, but the BKBs are going to wear out eventually, and that's what Ori's waiting on. If these heroes stick around, he will certainly be throwing down some damage. Never mind. Matumba Man comes in big time, executes that Necrophos. Now Poyoyo pops his Manta in order to get rid of the Corrosive Haze and back out. Nisha just shy being able to hit him with the Slight. Team Secret, they strike back a little bit here. They're showing that this game isn't over just yet.
Yeah, they just crushed through Necro, and that's a lot easier said than done. So surprising they're able to land that combination. And yeah, I mean, you can never count them out. Roshan is spawning. Perhaps right now, do they get lucky? Yes, they do. Oh my goodness, it's just spawned right as I walks in. No, check again. Oh no. Guys.
Yapzor's gonna go in.
Yapzor? Oh my
Oh, no.
Yapzor!
Attack.
Oh, that would, I mean, you would just go for it. Oh, wait, when did Nisha? Hello? Wait, did we see Nisha die?
Yeah, I mean, I watched it. You
I
didn't.
was staring at the Roche pit. Apologies.
It's fine. It was just a nice play from PYW, catching the Ember Spirit. I think his BKB was still on cooldown as well from the earlier team fights, so. But yeah, again, how do you go on these heroes from Vici Gaming when you, like, Elder Titan and Earthshaker could be just outside of vision, but well within striking distance of their spells?
Yeah, it's a tough game because Secret's big strength is the idea that you're going to use the Mirana Invis and your Shadowblade on Tiny to find these pickoffs and superior initiations. But Vici, like, if they're waiting for it, you know, they just need that one trap set properly, and they're going to wipe the floor with you. Plus, their carry has no need to ever even consider being near his squad for a fight. It's like, oh, enemies? Okay, press R, press Shadow Step. No problem. You've appeared. Halberd, love that item choice. Increase regen for the Necrophos, and you're also going to be able to get the active disarm on the Tiny. But I think it's even just more for the evasion.
Yeah, I was
'Cause
going to say the
these-
evasion is
You
super
can't buy
good.
enough armor into Slardar. Shivas will still probably be next item. Yeah, of course it is. But it's just like dodging one attack. It's like 800 health.
Yeah.
And if you can live long enough to get off Lotus and W, you know, Ghost Shroud's going to keep you alive, no problem. They have no method of dispelling it at the moment. I'm sure Nullifier will come out for somebody. Aghanims is going to be the build on Zai. I think he'll change that. I don't know how I feel about that one.
What? What do you mean? What else would you go? Aghanims is sick.
I mean, I think AC, or honestly, no jokes, Nullifier.
Okay, Nullifier is going to be needed eventually against Necrophos. But I feel like with these heroes aren't particularly mobile. Slardar just kind of wants to be able to sit on Necrophos and, like, if you kill the support, it's great, but, like, he wants to just be able to sit in an area and tank up damage.
But that's the thing. I don't know if you're ever going to be able to take an area against Vici's lineup, right? If you want to say, hey, we're fighting in this circle.
Oh,
against
so you
this
think you have to
draft.
play an in and out sort of game? Fast execution, get a kill, you know, back up. You know, they pop haunt, you retreat. Okay. I can see that.
It's a tough game. This is one of the issues with Slardar is that you don't really know what to get at this point if it's not just more raw damage, right? A game where Slardar is dominating, you see AC, you're like a moon shard, and it's very scary. but it's certainly looking rough. Oh, we got any crazy talents? Not really. Matu's got his BKB, closing in on Satanic.
Vici Gaming, there's no way that you... Roshan's like, hello! Oh, is Zai even daring to initiate for more here? Turns around, Reaper side though, and he's just dead. One stun, and that is enough. It creates an opening. Another arrow's gonna slide right on by. One hero death apiece.
That was just so casual.
Yeah.
Mi
Dire's bottom tower
One Fisher, and I'm dead.
the thing about the Aghanims as well, you only get the status resist, not magic resist, and he kind of needs that.
is under attack.
Like, that was a stun, ET Spirit plus Veil, so taking more than pure magical damage. And what was it, like a half a second of Spectre damage? He's just dead.
Dire's bottom
Yeah.
tower is being
Poor
destroyed.
Zai. I mean, this it feels like he's playing old Slardar when Sprint used to have you take bonus damage.
Amplified damage, yeah. Because that's essentially what Elder Titan does to everybody. He throws out his spirit, and boom. You're now taking an additional 25% magic damage, if not more.
And it's only relevant every once in a while, but I like that Vici kind of recognize how important evasion is, because Tinies really don't like to buy MKB. It's like very luxury for them. They always have the Echo, the Silver Edge, the BKB, and
Yeah.
you prefer Satanic. So now with the Butterfly on your Spectre and a Halberd now next to Heart, Jesus, on Ori, it becomes very, very difficult to actually burst heroes down. And if you can't burst them, the superior combo breaking and survivability of the Spectre, of the Necro, is going to pay off.
Yeah. MKB always feels best on heroes with faster attack speed.
Yeah,
Tiny's the exact opposite.
exactly. You want to buy a Daedalus. You know, you want the
Yeah.
attacks to hit really hard. You do not want to be playing for procs. Still, anybody's getting... It's close. Secret eking out a lead. One of the less bloodthirsty games I feel like we've seen the whole series. Pretty low on kills.
Yeah.
But it's just a product of the style of these two teams.
Yeah, Absor just keeps on scouting with arrows. Vici Gaming may be taking like the first offensive approach in a while. Trying to go for this offlane tower. Putting Ori in front. Ready to respond. Bramble's laid out preemptively. They're ready to go with Fisher. And they'll certainly have a spirit going around trying to find people as well.
And we'll wait for the Roche fight. There's some updates from Group B.
Bottom lane's pushing in, mid's kind of pushing in as well. Vici Gamer are going to have to back up and deal with this, but fortunately they got a Spectre on their team, so they can still hold their positioning around the Roshan pit. They can't take Roshan themselves very well, but they need to be around Roshan to make sure that Secret doesn't try and snipe it, just like they did attempted to last time with the Corrosive Haze and the Tiny's big physical damage.
Yeah, spoiler, don't listen if you don't want spoilers from the other games, but PSG LGD beat Beast Coast. That means Spirit's through, Secret's through. This is for seeding. Secret can secure top 2 if they can win this game. If Vici win, they retain sole possession of second place in group.
That means we get no tiebreakers?
No tiebreakers.
Wow. It's been a while since we haven't had tiebreakers after a TI group stage.
Yeah.
I feel like that almost always happens.
For something, right? Like either the upper
Yeah.
or elimination. There always
Yeah.
seem to be something left to play for, but... Oof. This'll be...
Oh, puppy! Spotted underneath the ward, almost immediately killed, but he does manage to get away. Runs into the brambles accidentally, but gets off the global silence as Zai jumps in, and Poyoyo is just dead. That minus armor did so much to him. Nisha is looking to be able to kill some of the supports, does get hit by the Fisher. DY turns around and says, "You were looking for me, bub." Okay, Nisha does find him anyway. That slight did too much to him. Poyoyo came back in with a buyback, but a lot of his supporting crew is dead. They can't actually keep this fight going.
I cannot believe how fast he died.
Radiant
Yeah.
offense.
That was nuts. And I'm thinking, like, he has I guess just not quite enough armor. He has 26. Zai with the talent removes 24. But they're going to go into the pit nevertheless.
Old
Oh, no,
11,
he tossed
BKB,
it.
he's going to be activated the toss. If it had hit Old 11, this could have been
Oh.
different. He still has a chance, though. Matuma Man, with the Reaper sight down, they could just run over some of these heroes. They no longer have much to fear. A Yule Scepter being used on the Ember Spirit. Oh, no, he's caught in the brambles. The Yule's combination from PYW kills Nisha. Vici Gaming now have a chance to be able to hold this Roshan area again, but it's cost them so many buybacks. And Nisha, he still has his. Arrow, oh, it lands on Ori. Does Secret want to try for this? They don't, but the Arrow gonna buy back now. Puppy's in trouble. Just the illusions are running after him. BKB going to be activated by Zai. Old 11 looking for that kill. Onto the silencer, he gets it, but now he's been caught by Zai and he's just dead. Matuma Man demolishes him, turns around, just three-shotting the Necrophos at this point in time. He's dead next. DY's gone. Poyoyo on the run, as is PYW. Secret now hold the Roshan pit, and they've got 90 seconds to work with. They're going to be able to take some serious objectives, Kyle.
Oh, yeah. A lot of buybacks used, but man, Yapso would have got that arrow. Just sets up Ori. He gets just plop like this tiny, does so much damage. Anybody who gets amped is just getting smacked. It's like watching the fall of Isengard but Matuma Man just bodies everybody in sight. And Nisha, he got the shard, so he's getting like all these remnants whenever they get kills. You can watch this. Ori just kind of walks into this arrow. Here comes Yapsor. You like can't even see it. There's so much chaos.
Yep, there it is.
Boom.
He was so focused on everybody else that Yapsor snuck one up on him. And Vici Game, you could see the chaos does not work well for Vici
No.
Game. They want that clear outcome of like when we've seen so many times, like, oh, we see an Ember Spirit, Fisher, Reaper side,
Yep.
throw our damage in. But when the fight gets chaos,
Yes.
when the battlefield is all over the place, you can see Ori doesn't really know where to go to.
It's because you need to have a technically sound execution to find a kill with like 3 heroes involved for Vici. All you
Yeah.
have to do as Team Secret is tiny C.
Tiny smash.
Yes.
Yeah.
With an amplify from Zai, and that's plenty. So, oh, he's got Aegis, but this is scary.
Earth Splitter is still going to catch him. They really want to be able to take away this Aegis, but you can see he actually just life sealed so much
Nice silence.
off that satanic 2-hit.
And I gotta say, I really think that while I did praise the itemization of Vici, they have miscalculated their armor. When you're playing against Slardar, you must buy armor. And if you see what's missing, there's not even a casual buckler. There's no Vlads. There's no AC. And really, that's the difference maker for a hero like Necro. Yes, the evasion is nice, but that heart, I think, really had to be a Shiva's. And you can see him grabbing it now. But when he got amped, he goes to negative armor. You look at Matuma Man. He is currently hitting for over 500 damage. That is not reduced. It is
Yeah,
amplified by percentage-based damage.
Ori spotted. Matuma Man doesn't want him. He wants something else. He's going to find it too. He's going to find Old 11. That's a gem on the deck as well.
No buyback. They know it.
A chance for them to be able to end this game. A chance for
Oh.
Team Secret to be able to claim second in their group. It's on the horizon here. Keep up the pressure. They're going to push in the top lane, go for a second lane of barracks. They cannot get Megas. The bottom tier 2 is still up. So Vici Gaming may just give this to them in exchange for a better 5-on-5, because if they try and fight this as 4, they may actually lose them something here. Matuma Man getting a little bit low here. Obviously, he's holding on to the BKB because he has the Aegis. They also don't want to Reaper Scythe him because it's not worth losing that cooldown. So they try and kill him just with regular spells, but he does get away.
No. Another thing, they have no shards on the side of Vici. They're just
Zai jumps in, tries to catch the Dark Will, does manage to catch him with the arrow
Bye-bye.
that followed up that crush and the avalanche as well. They've got that support. Another hero dead with no buyback. So Secret are just making sure. I really like this idea of just like making sure they're going to keep this 4 versus 5 going for a while.
Yep.
And going back in again, Matumba Man tosses him straight up in the air, so the arrow does land. The Haunt's going to go down. Matumba Man looking to be able to finish him off, but the BKB is allowing him to keep on swinging onto Ori. Ori in that ghost form is going to be able to walk away. Zai with the last Spectre. Oh, good use of the armlet is going to be able to keep himself alive.
Oh!
Nisha, who was in pretty deep there. Zai ends up going down anyway, but oh, what a hit from Matumba Man. 1,300 damage. How did Zai die?
He was out of Heartstopper range. I believe he didn't notice a Q flying after him, and he armlet
Oh
toggled.
my. Oh my
A
goodness.
death pulse got him. Like, thought he was safe.
It was probably just following him for a while and he just wasn't paying attention. Jeez. I mean, that would have been a like perfect fight for Team
Oh, yeah.
Secret. They wouldn't have lost to anybody if it wasn't for that last death. They didn't even lose the Aegis on Matumba Man.
Yeah, okay, hear me out. So seriously, shards are so good. Like, that's a core item on Necrophos. It gives you the single target death pulse
Yeah.
that turns someone ethereal. That's pretty damn good against these massive physical damage heroes. It's also basically an on-demand E-Blade.
Yeah, like his team would love him if
Yes.
they E-Blade the
Yeah.
the Tiny.
Or
That's a good point.
or save. Like, oh, Spectre's getting gone on. It's all physical damage. Just E-Blade him.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then they're also missing it on the Willow, who gets a reduced CD on the Cursed Crown, but it also means you get more Brambles against all these melee heroes.
Yeah, especially for these heroes like Necrophos, you just want to hold an area,
Yeah.
right? You could just play around constant Bramble spam. Did he actually go the other He did. He went the other Talon as well.
Oh, he's going in all for damage, huh?
But
That's
he's
more
but
burst
he's
for
not
the-
going Aghanim Scepter. I would get that if he was going Aghanim Scepter, but he's going an Eon Disc.
That's a good point. Huh.
19,000 net worth lead for Team Secret now. The Shivas is complete for the Necrophos, but is it too late?
It's just so value in this game, reducing regen and providing the necessary armor.
Look how this game, when like it was even, it was heavily favoring Vici
Yes.
Gaming, and as you said, it was
But
probably too much, right?
How crazy is it? Like, the game just kind of static for a little bit, and then suddenly it's like, oh yeah, okay, we like Vici a bit more now. It's just, the longer the game goes, the more likely they're going to get that one fight, that one opportunity that really changes the game for them. Because ultimately, yes, Secret's lineup is, in a way, it's like easier to utilize. At a point, minus armor strats, the Slardar, like, you will fall off a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, it's a Spectre, it's a Necrophos. Like, these heroes, when you get to, like, you know, the crazy level 30 late game, they just become somewhat unkillable. Although, I've learned not to underestimate Tiny.
Seriously. Certainly the carry of TI, at least for this group stage. We'll see once we get into playoffs how teams adapt to this hero. He's going to get a Moon Shard up next, and if he ever gets on top of the buildings, he's got that leveler to be able to slot in.
Yeah.
You do not want to see what a Tiny does to buildings with leveler.
Oh yeah, you don't even need to kill heroes anymore. You just go backdoor. Zai, by the way, closing in on his level 25. He's going to go farm that. Has the shard too, so no longer needs to manually haze people after initiation. So should be easier. You save a lot of time, especially when you're this farmed. The cast animation and backswing on your ultimate is somewhat annoying. So now you just slam, attack, attack. You'll always be able to get a bash off, and that guy who just killed DY also gets assisted. Hang on.
On the
Then
run,
buyback.
BKB is going to wear out here. They really need to be able to catch him. Old 11 is looking for it. He jumps forward, but immediately tossed back. Matumba Man with the quick reactions. They turn around, Reaper Scythe up.
Oh.
Yapzor instead, who still manages to stay alive. Did not get hit by that last shot. Puppey is still alive through all of this one, by the way. Poyo-Yo has been targeting him for seconds on time, and he didn't actually get the kill. Instead, he falls, and he may need to buy back just to be able to bail out Ori here, who's being chased down. This is looking terrible for Vici Gaming. It may just be the end of this game as Poyo-Yo jumps in to try and help him out, trying to get him away. Nisha on the other side of things, you'll be able to dodge the arrow, but it does not get rid of this corrosive haze. Zai is back into it. They're going to keep vision, keep their space. Not over. Oh, nice timing on the slight there.
Oh, Matu. Ooh. He knows there's no buyback now on 3 enemy heroes. And yeah, dude, Zai is just killing. He is just destroying these supports if he finds himself on top of them.
And
he
remember all the dispellable items they
Yeah,
got.
exactly. It's
He's
now-
level 25 now.
Yep, took Corrosive Undispellable, super sick in this game because it is going to continue applying the vision as well. But you can see Vici in these long fights, if they can just keep their heroes alive, they have the Heartstopper talent on the Necrophos. So he's doing almost 3% health decay to these strength heroes. Like, I'm watching Zai just die to his own armlet and Heartstopper. Not even taking damage, but he was at half HP in that fight. Please, though, Ori, he's got to buy the shard. I feel like you forget sometimes, but it's so good. It is so good when you consider that Secret, they still don't have that offensive dispel. Bait your Spectre, he goes in, he gets Death Pulse. That's it. Like, he's not taking damage for almost 3 seconds.
Yeah.
That's enough time to just whittle out these BKBs of Team Secret. Because that's what's killing you. Your supports can't do a damn thing when they're under the protection of the BKB. Matu, nice arrow. Might go in here.
Not going to go. He goes for the back line. He spots the 2 supports. They're just dead. Matama Man, a 2-for-1 special, and maybe make it a third. Poyo-Yo, is he going to be free? BKB running away. The Corrosive Haze is keeping vision. Nisha's going to chase after him, and that's going to be a dieback for the carry of Vici Gaming. Next up, PYW and Arrow on point. Vici Gaming, call GG, Team Secret. A redemption arc in the latter half of the group stages for them. They end up second in Group B.
Indeed. Indeed. And that, honestly, I think that's big for them. They lost a couple of series to teams that many might have not considered in the top half of the bracket.
Yep.
But they end the group. They're 10-6. They end up tied with Vici and Spirit, but they have the head-to-head against both. They 2-0'd. Now they go on to play whoever PSG LGD doesn't choose.
Yep.
OG or T1. So that is going to be hype. I don't know when we find that out, but I'm hoping it's soon. That is just awesome. There's no tiebreakers. Everything is set. Like, to close on this game, just well done. I think they're going to need to pick up the pace in bracket because to win TI, like from what we've seen, specifically from IG and PSG LGD, like they're beasts.
Yeah,
right
if
now.
they're getting run over by Team Secret, then Virtus Pro, PSG LGD,
Yeah.
OG, T1, like they're going to bring a faster pace than Secret.
Yes, yes. Like this is like playing on, advanced difficulty. But when we get
But
the
they're still
bracket stage-
expert.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's insane way at top if you actually get to the final days. But yeah, so to close it out, Group A, IG, VP, OG, T1. Group B, PSG LGD, Secret, and then I don't know who was higher, Vici or Spirit, but it doesn't matter because ultimately it's going to come down to dealer's choice.
Yep.
And it's going to be real curious. Does IG keep it in the family? They go for Vici? Or do they take Spirit? I have a feeling they'll probably pick Spirit,
Yeah.
but you never know. Then we'd have VP Vici, which is perhaps even preferred for Vici Gaming, to be honest, because they beat them at the Any Major. And I really don't want to play against T1, who beat me at the Any Major. Rather, like T1 just beat them. Or OG. Like, nobody wants to play OG at TI.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Good times here at the TI-10 group stage. It does also mean, with the group stage concluding here, that we're going to be saying goodbye to both Thunder Predator and SG Esports. Unfortunately, just not the TI for them, but hopefully they're going to be continuing their journey in another year. But the group stage is concluded. TI-10, the real event, the main event, is ready to go. We're going to have a day break. Everybody, we're going to be able to find out who's picking who, which is also a little bit of spice. I always remember that iconic moment. No tail, flip
a
the
coin.
coin. I remember him running around somewhere in the group stage. It was fun. We have a lot of fun coming up. A lot of great games. Very excited for the international continue. But that is going to be it for the broadcast now. Thank you for watching.